Welcome back.
Oh,
Keep it in.
Right. Hold on. Welcome back to the OTB podcast, New Zealand's original and still the best mountain bike podcast. We've been on a hiatus, but the World Cup started, and boy, oh boy, what a way to kick it off. And we probably decided that we really should get back in and do another podcast. You know, I'm sure our loyal listeners are just hanging out to hear our takes on the race, you know, our very, very uneducated takes of what went down, and probably more just to listen to the usual absolute rubbish that we talk. But
speak for yourself, Kerry.
Well, you know,
some of us are well educated and done some research for this.
We have some educated voices on the line, and we'll start with Lester Perry. Welcome back, Lester.
Oh, g'day, mate. G'day, boys.
And the usual suspects on the line, Red Dog and Chris Vanderkolk. Welcome back, boys.
Great to be here, Kerry. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. And I'll just clarify at this point that I would not consider myself an educated host at all. I'm bringing mainly filler tonight. So there you go.
That's good. All filler and no killer.
That's it.
All right. First thing I've got to drop off the top. Remember how I dropped that Sam Hill to Foes hot take in about February, I think it was.
Oh, yeah. How could I forget? You've been trawling the forums ever since.
I have. Pagey dropped some news on his Instagram, basically dropping the fact as well. So we were about 3 months ahead of any news coming out. So, you know,
did you know it? KB, did you know it before they knew it?
Before Hill knew it? Yeah. I think I knew it before he even did.
It was part of.
He did a podcast with Brent Foes, and they basically talk about how he went there and started talking about building a bike for him. I haven't actually listened to it, but this is just what I've picked up from it. So, OTB podcast just coming in hot.
I can't remember if we talked about this last time, but
the original's still the best.
My first thought here is when Rankin was telling us about how he turned up and they gave him his measurements and everything. Do you think that's happening with Hill? Like Hill's turning up at the Foes factory, and they're like, "Cool, what head angle do you want?" And Brett's there just welding it up, just putting a bike together for him.
100%. He'll be going in and telling him that he wants a 63-degree head angle like Rankin did back in 2002. Yeah, and it'll be away.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if he built a modern day version of the mono though? That would be incredible. That's all I'm here for.
I can see it happening.
Do you think he'll
That's all
go
I'm
down
here
to
for.
O'Neill or wherever? Where did Rankin go?
Azonic. Yeah, just the shopping trolley and just packing it up. Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Surely Hill will be back in Troy Lee. Surely,
but
you'd hope so.
I don't know, man. How's their size range at the moment?
Has to be.
Shots fired.
I'd like to distance myself from that.
Yeah, I'm keeping my well away from that.
Speaking of Troy Lee Designs,
I'm
help us out with this podcast. Thanks, Troy Lee Designs. Also bringing you this podcast, the Waka 100, New Zealand's largest event on the mountain bike calendar for sure. Smith Optics and Filthy Bike Wash. Speaking of the Waka boys, I got something else I got to bring up here, and this is for Lester and Chris. Did you guys know that Red Dog has a coach?
I learned about this recently, actually.
Oh, Red Dog has a coach.
I did learn about this. Yep.
A life coach.
Yep.
I guess it could be coaching him in life.
No. Red Dog's my life coach, which means that the coaching Red Dogs get is filtering down to me indirectly. So I did know about that, Kerry.
Are you just getting on the program, Chris? Are you just following Red Dog's steps?
I'm getting the scraps.
I'm intrigued.
I'll let you.
What is this?
But those talks. The talk, we're in talks with a coach. But it takes us 2 weeks to get back to each other, so it hasn't gone very far.
By the time you get something lined up, the walk will be finished.
So this
Oh,
is
it'll be long gone.
You're sending letters back and forth, eh?
It
Is
might
that
as well be
all-
with that.
all
You
I'll
see.
say-
dog?
You
Is that
get him.
you entering the miler that you need a coach.
Let's get him in the miler.
Yeah, when are we doing the draw?
I
We
just
we announced that.
I think we need to put a poll up on the
Yeah.
Instagram if we
No.
go
maybe we
live.
do.
In our next
Chris-
episode, do we do a grand prize draw and one of us wins an entry to the miler?
Chris, for the
I'm
listeners,
not
can you
letting. Okay, yeah. I'll
can you
brief the
explain
listeners.
this?
Okay, so for the listeners' sake, we have decided. Have we decided? Let's go. We have decided.
Oh, I don't know.
That we're
Yeah,
going
we've
to do a draw, the short straw podcast, where one of the four of us draws the miler straw. So we're all going to the Fokker. That's a given. But there is one miler entry on the table, and one of us is going to get it.
This is like
So
Russian
we'll do
roulette.
it like a Russian roulette sort of a deal. Yep, that's it.
I love it for the content, but I hate it for the fact that I have a 25% chance of doing the miler.
Oh yeah, it's high risk, zero. Well,
It is
I mean, this is the
brutally
thing. It's
high
like high risk, but it probably depends a little bit who it lands on as to how much reward there is. Because I think if it landed on me, there'd be a huge reward for you guys and for the listeners, and really anyone else at the finish line, or anyone that's sort of lingering at about the sort of 120k mark. But it wouldn't be as rewarding if it was like a Red Dog or a Leicester, because I feel like you guys would come in pretty hot. Like it'd be a bit of a non-event, really.
See, I feel like it would be Red Dog's element because he loves going night riding and shit like that.
Loves that shit.
I hate
If you're
riding
like,
in
Going
the
out on
dark.
Thursday.
Actually, so did I, Red Dog. I snuck out on the trail bike for a night ride. It was terrifying.
So did I. Yeah.
Yeah,
Jeez, you guys should
What a
live in
time.
the same town and line up your
Ride
rides together and
together.
go out.
we do live in the same town. We hardly ever see each other.
So this is this is my worst nightmare because I'd have to strap lights on. I don't want to do that.
I know.
I've got so many too, Kerry. I could supply you.
I'm going out looking like the front of like a B train, just fully lit up. You can't
Lit up.
see anything if you're looking at me coming from straight on.
Kerry's demanding, like, you know, when they try and set like marathon records and they have paces, Kerry's demanding having like a crew come to just light the trail up for him. So he's got like 3 people in front of him riding like 3 abreast, just lighting up the trail, and then people behind him as well. He's just riding in floodlights.
Can we
Follow the leader.
if we do go ahead with this, are we all going to go and support whoever the poor person is that ends up doing the miler at the start at 5 a.m. or whatever time it starts?
No, I'll be sleeping.
They're just on their own.
Once you
Also,
draw the card, you're on your own.
Oh shit!
The start's not the fun part. You want to be there at the last 20Ks.
Maybe we should see if we can get another entry and we bring a listener into this, so we just lessen the odds a little bit more, and then maybe a listener ends up with it.
Well, see, I think that's a great idea, Kerry.
That's a good idea. I like that.
I like the idea of giving our listeners the opportunity to nominate a mate. So, like, if you've got someone, like, we'll come to the party with the entry, right? So we're like, yep, cool, entry. We'll get you on the start list. We'll publish your mate's name. You know, we'll promote the fact that your mate's going in the deep end. We can wrap it in.
Will we give him a kit? Can he have?
Don't we have to-
like, like essentially, we'll create a situation where that
qualify
person.
Is there a qualifier?
It doesn't
think
like the
it's
miler or otherwise. Like, it could be
I think
it
it's supposed
could
to
just be
qualify
the
something.
Hyundai K.
I don't know.
So,
We've partnered with the event. I feel
That's
like
just
that's
a
qualification
technicality.
enough for some
Yeah.
poor person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And so, like, that's the message to the listeners. If you've got a mate who you think should be doing the Fokker, and let's just call it the Hyundai, right? It doesn't have to be the miler. You got a mate that should be doing it. Nominate them. Send a message to Kieran's personal Instagram inbox. He'll take care of it. So nominate a mate, and then what I reckon we're going to do here is we're going to create a situation where your mate just kind of can't back out of it. So they didn't choose to do it in the first place, but they also can't say no.
This just sounds like us as well, though. Whoever the poor person is that might potentially win it.
Exactly.
Can't back out of
Exactly. It's it's misery loves company type situation, right? So if we're fucked, then we want some people to come and be fucked with us.
It sounds rough.
Yeah,
sounds
I
rough.
reckon it's all fair.
Oh boy. Well, that's
I have another idea.
right.
Can we convince someone
to do the match here every possible at the event? So they do like the
50.
and they do the mile.
do all of them?
Is that not just Match Hair Brothers doing that?
He just does that for fun.
He might be doing it.
Yeah, like that is just him doing it.
Oh boy.
You've got to do the kids race as well.
The 5K.
The 5K.
Someone can do it. They can take my kids for the lap.
There you go. They have to take Leicester's kids for the 5K, and then they have to do the 50 and the eliminator. Put them through the ringer.
Seeing we're talking about the kids race, we went over on Saturday to do some training and ride the 10K, which the kids have ridden before they actually realised that it was even 10Ks. They've actually done it before. And we literally rode for 10 minutes before we then
That's a quick
put the
10Ks.
bike back on the car. I know, we were hauling. That's how much they enjoyed riding their bikes that day.
You got 10 minutes.
It was 10 minutes riding. And then we went to the hot pool and then we went home.
Oh boy.
Oh,
10
Harry,
minutes that's a record.
10 minutes of riding.
It was absolutely pitiful.
Was it like five
fairness,
out and 5 back, or was it about 2 minutes of riding and then 8 minutes of complaining and negotiation and then bikes on the car?
100%, yeah. On,
Are you just publicly shaming your kids at the moment, Lisa?
Oh, no, I'm not shaming them. They know what they did.
They know what they did.
However, in fairness,
you're a moto dad, eh, Lisa?
In fairness, by the next day they were actually quite sick, and then they had Monday off school sick. So I'm going to put it down to them being ill at the time.
That'll do it.
I'm gonna put that down to the hot pools, eh? Like they put their heads under.
It was probably the plunge pool that they kept jumping in the cold. That they've got the cold plunge pool there.
Yeah, the bit where everyone puts their feet.
And I was holding their heads under, so that's probably good.
You're like one of those like moto mums or moto dads who are just like raising their kids like fucking soldiers, but for mountain biking.
I'm just getting them adapted to the ways of Wim Hof really early in life.
Oh, that's so good. I can't wait to follow the Lester Perry parenting Instagram account.
6 a.m. boys, get in the ice bath. Find comfort in discomfort.
Not at all.
Yeah,
not at all.
Learn to hate.
Anyways.
Shit.
Shit, we've gone so far off these so quickly.
Hey,
you
right,
guys got
you
got a wine on the go, by the way? What are we drinking tonight?
I've got a Camelback bottle of water. That's where I'm at.
A goon bag.
It'd be great.
Friday night, beer night.
Red Dog's treated himself to his second beer of the week.
It is Friday night, beer night.
Don't go too far, Red Dog. What will coach say?
No, I won't.
All right.
So back on the coaching.
Should we get on and talk about the...
We went off piece of it, didn't we? So the coaching thing came up because the coach in question who listens to this podcast, he sent me a message and said, hey, have you got Red Dog's email address? And I was like, well, what do we have here? So
this could only...
Can I ask a question about...
He reached out to me.
Yeah, so he's outbounding. Like, is that... Are you paying for this coaching service?
Yes, he does.
You are? Oh, okay, so you are buying a service.
He's trying to drop another person who's on this podcast and, step up to the better.
Oh, I see how this works.
So Red Dog, do you consider yourself to be... There's a bit of an interesting dynamic, right? Because when a coach identifies someone that they want to coach, that either means they're easy money, so they're a partner at a law firm or something that's got money to spend, like Lester, or they're like a talented athlete and it will be beneficial to the coach's brand if they can associate themselves with this up-and-coming young athlete.
I'd say it's that one
So
because
which one is it?
we know Red Dog's big on social media, so they're probably banking on getting some extra exposure out of his social presence.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what's
Yes.
in it for Kevin, to be honest.
What I want to know is why he's gone to you, Red Dog, after previously, he started. I don't know. Could you say he started at the top with KB? Actually, I think I was coached by him before.
Started
KB
from the
did.
bottom. Now
Started
he's
from
here.
the bottom, went to the top, and now he's on the new up and coming talent. Maybe he thinks that we are totally washed, KB. We've got nothing more to give.
I'd say so.
See,
We've done all we can.
I've got some questions as well for Can we say who Red Dog's coach is? I'm assuming we can.
Well, you did already
publicly
drop it about
Yeah, I know,
45 seconds ago.
but an eagle-eyed listener would pick that up. But by this point, no one's actually listening, so it's not too much of a concern. But no, my question really for Kevin is, is Red Dog really the guy you want to sort of like kind of hang your hat on as a coach? Because yeah, I mean, he's a talented athlete. He's going to do the work, but you can't demonstrate like big shifts, like non-marginal gains. Like I think for example, would probably be a better athlete to work with.
If you're looking for
there's not a lot
wise.
there's not a lot you need to do to shift the dial. I'd be a terrible athlete to work with because I just wouldn't do the work, but. I just feel like there's more upside opportunity.
Yeah. I get you. Maybe it's just no, because you've got the Palmy connection too. But maybe it's just the Palmy connection that's coming together.
I think there's a good opportunity here. So, Red Dog, you have a coach, and I will get ChatGPT to do my coaching program for me. And we'll see.
Okay,
does ChatGPT do that now?
Yes, it does.
Lester, you get ChatGPT to do it. Red Dog gets Kevin to do it, and I'll get our listeners to do mine. And KB can just carry on as normal.
You have to follow it to the nth degree as well. We're going to put up a poll. What should Chris do this week?
This week, yeah.
Yes, I love it. It'll include lots of running.
Here's your options: 8K run, right? E-bike ride to work, and nighttime trail ride. You choose.
There you go. E-bike ride to work.
It might take a little more structure if you want to complete the miler.
Yeah. You might need a bit more than that. You might need to get a few Ks in.
I mean, I don't really want to complete the miler, but I mean, I'll do it if I have to, right?
I started my Walker prep today, boys. I took the day off work and I did a 90K road ride and I was cooked.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
It's the only social media I follow is your Strava.
It's pretty exciting.
Yeah. Hey, are we all geared up for this 220 though? We're peaking for this 220.
There's a big gap between 90 and 220. How hard did you go, Jamie? How long was that?
It was tempo. It was a fairly good pace.
He took a couple of gold medals, Lester. I saw it.
So you rode too hard, really, was your problem?
Pretty much. I had to stop and get a Coke on the way home. I was stopping Richmond to get a Coke so I could make it home.
The Red Doctor.
Yeah, save me. Save me, Red Doctor.
Just like
right.
Derek.
Apparently there was a downhill race on in the weekend. We've probably lost 80% of the people that started listening to this podcast by now, but that's all right. As long as they listen for 60 seconds and got us to listen, that's all
that matters.
Put
a note in the show notes. Please jump forward to 35 minutes.
That's it. Good move ahead. Boy, where do we start? The fact that we had 50% of the junior podiums, or something. Yeah, it was 50%. It was pretty strong showing, really. The juniors are coming on still. And the junior woman, Sasha Ernest in second, and Ellie Hossebosch. Red Dog,
No.
how am I supposed to say it?
He says it's like, who's the boss? So
Who's
it's
the
like,
boss?
who's the boss or something.
Who's the boss?
Yeah.
There we go.
Obviously, you didn't listen to her Vital MTB 17 questions.
I did, but I'm not good at remembering.
Okay.
But yeah, second and third for those girls, and then Iris Van Leuven looked like she was just continuing on her absolute dominating ways, except for a flat tire in finals. Unfortunately, she was fastest of the first 3 splits. So
Yeah, she looked like she was on. So it's going to be a good year for those girls.
oh man, it wouldn't surprise me if we see multiple podiums with like the three of them on there.
The sweep.
Yeah, the sweep, and then there's Poppy Lane as well. Like she had, world champs medal last year, so she's got some good potential there too. And then the junior men, Ace of Amet. He's lived up to the hype, wouldn't you say?
Are we buying into this hype? Are we buying into the hype?
First World Cup. I mean, I feel like I'd buy into the hype. Are you going to buy some Ace of Amet stock or?
I want to see Tyler Wade.
Yeah, I do. I want to see Tyler Wade as well. He's got some serious pace.
He looked pretty good. I watched some practice video of him, and he looked like pretty good.
He looked good.
Yeah.
I was like, man, he just looked smooth compared to the other people. I was like, man, he just looked like he was, real stable, but ripping.
Yeah, totally.
What happened to him? Why didn't he qualify?
He got a flat tire.
Yeah.
So Aces.
What about Ollie Clark? Where's the Ollie Clark hype?
Ollie's an
Ollie
eighth.
Clark hype.
Ollie had a couple of. He qualified third or fourth, I think.
Yeah,
he's pretty strong. There's some kids in there, but then Luke Wayman's just come in. Like, I mean, I've known Luke since he was pretty young. He's a Christchurch kid, and he came in hot with the second. So good on Luke.
That's pretty cool because most of those guys will be their first hit at a World Cup, right?
Yeah, well, I think it's a pretty fresh kind of group of kids coming through, really.
And you've got to imagine, it's a long course compared to what they'd be used to racing at home. So it's pretty and probably quite different. Like that top section is not really like anything in NZ. Pretty good.
Looks like Luke is second year junior by the looks of things. Just looking at the year of birth, because it's 07 and 06. So we're old. Like there was world champs in Rotorua when they were born. Jesus Christ.
I'm just looking at some of the photos of Luke Wayman, and Chris, you'll be happy with this. He was wearing a gilet at one point. Oh, hang on, it might be a jacket with the sleeves cut off. Either way, I'm here for the gilet.
I've got a lot of time for gilet. There's a blurry line on the gilet though, because technically speaking, the leader's garment is a gilet.
It is a gilet.
So
this is obviously a practice gilet.
Yeah. Like if you're running a black gilet, and say it's got some team logos and stuff on it, you're like really at risk of looking like.
The leader's garment's fluoro now. It's fluoro.
Oh, is it? Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm just thinking about Nathan Rennie's leader's garment.
Yeah, nice, very nice.
Which is a black gilet. Like
it was black.
If I kept my hands on that gilet now, it would be a great riding garment.
What the hell was up with that gilet? Make the leader just look as shit as possible with a black gilet. It's so weird, but it was awesome. They shouldn't have changed
quite a tight
it.
one as well. I like the idea that back then they probably shared them between leaders as well. Like it was actually one they just handed back and forth.
Yeah.
Red Dog, can't we just get some leaders lights or something put on the front of their bikes?
They should have leaders lights. That would be fucking sweet.
That would be great.
Or lights if they're up at the split. That'd be cool.
Yeah, they could have that.
Speaking of which, how good was that? The big timing board on the step down.
Yeah.
The last
so you saw it change colour. That was actually quite cool.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. It was cool.
It was it was a strong pull from. Although I did miss the arch, I could have done with an arch on top of those, because it's always been the arch there.
Yeah, true.
But
always one to look for, making it better, aren't you?
Yeah.
Hang on, guys. I have an update on the Luke Wayman gilet situation potentially.
What have we got?
It appears. Oh, has he? It looks very much like he's cut the sleeves off mid-event.
mid run, like someone just ripped him off one of the marshals or something.
Well, I don't know. This looks dangerously like he doesn't have a gilet on. Look, we're gonna have to get to the bottom of this. Yes, he has definitely. Oh, has he? Nah, maybe it's
great radio.
Yeah. Look, we're getting to the bottom of the big issues because the last thing I want here is for him to be Bradshawing, where you just cut the sleeves off a jacket.
Oh, where he's gone and got himself like a MacPack jacket and just hacked the sleeves off.
Yeah.
No one should be following in the footsteps of Brad Cummins.
No.
That's one of those things though. You could probably do that quite well. In fact, I was at a shop the other day, and Specialized actually sells that garment, and it was pretty tidy. I don't know if you'd ever actually ride in it, but because it has a hood,
What a
like
jacket with a set of scissors.
like a sleeveless yeah. So you buy so essentially what you get is a Mac pack jacket, a pair of scissors, and a Specialized sticker.
Yeah.
And away you go.
Is it an iron-on sticker, or can you peel it off again?
And then Brad Cummins comes around and cuts sleeves off for you.
Fantastic. That's great.
Oh, well, we've wrapped up the juniors. That's good.
Well, that was great G-Lay chat there. Should we move on to the elite woman? I kind of forgot that seeing Valley on the YT again. I kind of forgot that she ever was not on there. I was like, it took me a minute to think like, oh, she's been on Trek for a few years, but she looked pretty good on there. Back at home. Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'd say she killed it. She was only half a second up.
Yeah. Well, the other girls killed it as well, though.
Yeah.
I think I was most impressed with Nina. To be fair,
Nina. Yeah. That's all. I was just looking at the results there. Like, she was first at all the splits until the last one, basically, and that was where Valley got her by like half a second on the very end of the track. She obviously just had that little bit more power. Speaking of which, how shit is the end of that track getting? They're just going further and further into the trees and making it into a walking track. Like,
yeah, it's weird, eh?
They're just like they're just going to link the top and the bottom, and there's not going to be any technical sections in that track anymore. It's just going to be a 1 meter wide walking track the whole way down for long.
Yeah, it's getting like more and more basic, and they're going real fast in the trees now.
Well, I mean, that tree section used to be pretty niggly. Like, I remember when I raced there, and it was basically like a muddy rut. Like, it was slow as fuck. But which in some aspects is better, but man, they've just smoothed that whole section out all the way down out of there now, which was interesting.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I must admit, I only watched the highlights. I'm sorry, guys, and sorry to our listeners. You tune in for the highest level of commentary.
Yeah, don't come back next week.
Yeah, see you later. But it looked like a completely different place. But maybe that's what the World Cup tracks are these days.
Yeah.
It's kind of disappointing though if that's what World Cups are now.
Yeah, no, man.
I was definitely looking at some of that, thinking it was pretty groomed. There's a lot of it wasn't, but yeah. Was
that a track, or was that one of the team trucks that you were looking at? And you saw it was pretty groomed.
Real well groomed, eh? Like,
do we need to talk about exploding wheels?
Cleaners lately.
What about we talk about how good Tani Seagrave was looking coming back from a couple of like pretty down years with concussions and things like that.
That's pretty awesome.
She was the most impressive. She was the most impressive, I reckon.
Yeah, I thought she was riding amazing.
Yeah,
no, I'm impressed with Troy Brosnan, his results. You know, like coming off a pretty big financial year end, and getting back in the seat and you know being about 45 years old, and delivering massive result out of the gate. That's phenomenal.
Do you think maybe there's something to that new canyon that they're on?
Yes,
maybe
I reckon so.
Maybe that's a big change because Luca Shaw on the podium as well, and like Luca's kind of, I mean, he's been hovering around, but he hasn't been like a solid podium guy for a little bit.
Do you think it's the bike or the pink kit?
Well, that pink kit was pretty lit. Troy Designs.
What I was interested though, like how was it that the Fox kits turned up pink?
Yeah, they were very similar.
The ones
very
and
similar.
The Troy Lee ones turned up, and
yeah,
you know, if they had no logos on them, they'd be kind of the same colours.
Yeah,
I saw Tani's thing because that's sort of like Tani's like thing, right? Like the pink gear and like custom Fox kit and stuff. And I saw she was running a skin suit.
She was
the Roxon thing.
The speed suit.
Yeah, the speed suit. And then I saw the rest of the Canyon guys like, that's weird. Are they all on Fox or Troy Lee now? I couldn't figure it out. But as it turns out, they've just got the same kit across two brands.
So apparently a team filed a protest with UCI against that speed suit before practice even started.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Good shit.
Don't know
Who was it?
who, but I don't know who, but I heard that someone had filed a protest and it was deemed legal because it's a two-piece and it like follows the wording of the rules. And
Yeah.
it like has to be a two-piece, and so
The rules are worded pretty poorly.
they
Anyway,
are.
it's pretty interpretation's weird.
Exactly.
Oh,
Also,
that.
it didn't make a difference. Well,
Well-
seemingly didn't.
Well, it's very hard to quantify, right? Because would they have gone slower without it?
Yeah.
What made more of a difference, the speed suit or the electronic suspenders?
Well, that was
Well,
another thing.
who knows?
Yeah,
Well,
electric
they had
suspenders
both.
are a big thing now, eh?
It was huge.
And it would be there though, right?
Well, yeah, it would be, especially when we just talked about how flat the track was at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone on the podium, men's podium, except for Dakota Norton, had it on their bike.
Is that right?
But
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Dak Norton had other stuff on his bike.
I've
when he's
got
talking
Oh,
Oh,
don't get
Kerry-
me started.
Kerry messaged me about this and he said, what did you say, Kerry?
I said that
You're
if
the
I
team
was his
manager.
team manager, I would bench him until he put normal front end back on that bike. You're not
It's-
racing until you put a 30 mil rise bar at most.
Unfortunately, the
Oh.
fact that he did well is going to mean that a lot more people start trying that high front end craziness.
It's not the height, it's the shape.
They are gross.
It's
They
It's
both.
the
look-
shape.
He looks like he should be on a Harley.
Did you hear Gwyn was saying in the commentary, though, he had to put a riser bar on rather than just put stackers on because he kept smacking his face on the bar.
Yeah, what is he
Hmm.
doing? Why has he got his
Oh,
face so
no.
low?
Well, you think if you're just jacking it up that high, like, yeah.
So hang on, can you explain that? So he has to have a gap between his knuckles for his face to go in.
No,
Basically, that's what they said, yeah.
between the bars, so his face can go down between the handlebars. Otherwise, if he had a low rise, he hits his face on the stem.
So he needs yeah, okay. So he's doing the he needs to be able to put his fucking head under the water, but keep his hands above him. What's he up to? What's going on here? Like, because the size of those bars, like if what you're talking about is that he needs to get his head low enough, but his hands stay high enough. At some point, his hands are above his head.
Yeah, they've got to be in line with it for sure.
Like, he's just up. I mean, the camera's not on, but he's up here somewhere.
It's
It's a look, that's for sure. But I tell you what, it worked.
not a
for
good
him.
one. Is he right there?
It actually reminded me of, like, if you took a picture of him and blurred it up somewhat, the setup was very similar to how I used to ride on my old Kiwi, like very high front end, quite a low BB, and just basically standing there with your hands in front of you.
Can we find a photo of that? What colour? Was it the red one or the black one?
Red one, no, the red one.
I can't go around corners if my handlebars are that high.
Nah, no way.
Nah, it just doesn't work.
Fuck, the front end would be going all over the shop for me.
I just can't. There's a big move towards this higher stack thing. I just can't get on board with it, eh?
Stack Norton.
Yeah, don't know.
I was like going to every effort to drop as much out of the front end as I possibly could to get it low, but maybe that was just a 26-inch bike thing. I don't know.
Weird.
Anyway,
Anyway,
right. So Bruni, pretty dominant run. Man, he looked good.
Damn, that bike. Ooh.
yeah,
Those guys are on 1A. Like their team is just on another level.
yeah. Jordan, I reckon, looked real good too. To be fair, I reckon it's probably one of the more solid runs I've seen him lay down, and his bike was looking very Bruni-esque as well.
Unbelievable.
Have they got a third guy on the team?
He won a World Cup this one time.
No, it's just two of them.
So it was just Finn and Loic.
Oh, no, it's old Jordan.
Yeah. You just
There's
forget
only
he.
two of
You
them.
just forget he exists.
Yeah, I don't know
Poor
why
Jordan.
I forgot that.
He's
He had
got
one
the.
good run.
He's got the new bike now though.
Yeah.
He does. They let him have it.
Yeah. Now it looks like they've got some electronic shocks on their bikes, given they've got like a PlayStation controller on the left-hand side of the bars.
Yeah. I reckon that's cool. It's so factory.
It is pretty sweet.
That's got to be where it's all headed, right? Like they're getting so close over a 4-minute run. Like, what was the gap between in the top 3 or 4? It was very close. I don't know what the gap was.
It was 3.6 to Luca on 5th. So
yeah,
but
so
I mean
still.
The closer point, like Brosnan and Finals were like 0.1 of a second apart. Like it was nothing in that point.
Yeah,
so
I mean, there you go. There's the difference in a lockout or a difference in a short peak or a skin suit.
It's I was reading they just we're just going to go full circle and they should just bring back skin suits.
I think
visors off, skin suits on. Let's go.
They'll be able to make them look cooler now.
I'm on board with that. And there's some subtle things that they could improve on that Fox one, which would make a difference. And then you would get to the point where like a full-blown actual roadie-looking skin suit is not far from it. But like they could incorporate some more aerodynamic fabric and stuff like that in the legs and things, which would make a difference.
You see the full like roadie skin suit style where it's actually like kind of V-necked down a bit as well, where it's so tight.
Yeah.
Just the full extreme.
They start doing some weird stuff as well with where the like on the roadie skin suits, like where does like the black part of the shorts start? Like how sometimes with skin suits they do like half, and like it's sort of the shorts look like they're creeping up quite a lot. Like how long until we're seeing that coming into downhill skin suits where you're wearing your black shorts, but they're sort of up around your sternum, sort of thing?
Well, you look at the
mega high rise.
Looking at Nina's suit, like the print on that went the whole way down. They weren't even trying to make it look separate.
No.
They're still putting those are some of the ugliest kits I've seen in a while.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
Didn't look good.
No, but that's a graphic problem. They just need to redesign the graphics and then run it.
I don't know what the syndicate's done to whoever's designing that stuff. But I agree. I don't know. They've like run over their dog or something. I don't know. But
well, if we're talking about bad-looking kits, though, like
there was some horrific.
Look no further than Reese Wilson.
Look no further.
Reese Wilson.
What
was that about?
The Madison Saracen team. Fuck, there was some disgusting.
You know what else? I'm sorry to say this, but I can't fuck with the Norco team kit.
No,
I don't mind
the shop.
It's not as bad as the others.
No, the kit's not terrible, but like the whole package is just like the gold forks, the sort of the rattle can like frame.
Actually, I don't mind the bike. I think that looks alright.
No, I'm with you, Chris. I think it's like a good concept, but it hasn't quite been executed perfectly.
It just hasn't come together very well.
No, I agree.
Yeah, there's some pretty fucked up kits out there this year.
I was texting KB and I was drawing parallels between like kits from 2010, 2011, most of them made by Thor.
Like in the real grim moto days.
Similar. Yeah.
But there's no
like the real flat peak days.
Whose is the best then? Because there's a lot of bad ones.
Specialized.
By far, Specialized.
Specialized. And you know why? Because
Canyon.
No, the pink.
Troy Lee, bro. It's Troy Lee.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair. That's right. I mean, like,
don't be silly.
That Specialized stuff looks so good.
Gary's sitting there looking at his pile of kit in the corner going, like, I'm not being silly, I want to keep this kit.
The Troy Lee kit is fantastic, of course. But the design of the graphic, I just don't think anyone really nailed it to be like that super sick. Like Bruni's kit ruled, right?
Yeah.
Nothing too out of the box. Actually, my personal favorite, I think, was Finn Isles' kit. A little bit understated, had some cool
simple
things on it. Yeah.
But this is the thing. This is why the Specialized team is the Specialized team. Their shit's just dialed.
They execute.
Like there's no peripheral. There's no like let's invest so much energy in this week's new kit. They've got a new kit every week, but it's also they probably designed it fucking 12 months ago. Like Brony's set up, his kit's ready to go, his bike's dialed, away he goes. Like I've got no Red Dog. You and I talk about this a lot extensively. When it comes to World Champs time, it's too much energy too much fucking time
Oh,
invested
don't
in,
even
like,
get me started
what's
on
the
the bikes.
bike,
Yeah,
Like-
too much.
like you don't be doing all that and then coming 15th,
No,
which
no.
you know,
Someone's got to come 15th.
Someone comes
Um,
13th in 2008.
Yep, someone did.
Hey,
Someone
I'm
did.
just rolling through these results here, and did the speed suit even feature in the top 30? It
Nah,
didn't, eh?
Laurie had a pretty grim-looking weekend.
Was he the fastest in it?
Well, he was the only male in it.
Oh, was he?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was only Laurie and Nina and Tane.
What
I thought
about
the Troy Lee setup was pretty tight. Like that was
they were all
verging
pretty
on his
tight.
skin suit style. Yeah, to be
Yeah.
fair, a lot of them were. That's very cool.
Who's the fill-in rider at Syndicate?
Ollie Davis.
What was his story?
About him getting the ride.
No, like in this
I
race. Oh no,
I
there
don't
he
know.
is.
He didn't
No,
make
he didn't make the.
didn't make finals.
No, he didn't.
We
even
had
qualify.
we had a look like we might have had some Kiwis slipping into the finals, but we didn't in the end, which was
No.
unfortunate. But looks like, I mean, what do we have? George, Blinky, Brooke, Lockie, Tahoda got a flat tire. So yeah, it's like we've still got some strong. I mean, I think Lockie's the strongest of all.
Mm.
He was
he is, yeah.
18th in qualifying.
Yeah.
I think he had a mechanical or something in semi-finals, but yeah, we got some guys there, which is good.
that's great from him, mate. That's impressive.
Yeah, he's killing it. The other note I reckon is that the Americans, like some of those guys, are coming up. You know, the Dylan Maples, who else was there?
Yeah, this
Burnett.
sneaky.
There's like
Sneaky
3 or 4
strong.
guys in the elite two are like coming up all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
USA's kind of on a bit of a comeback. Austin Dooley's been real good as
USA,
well.
that was
Dooley,
the other
yeah.
one, Austin Dooley, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Dakota and Luca. Like, I wonder what the last time 2 Americans were on the podium. Probably Luca and Gwyn, maybe at some point in recent years, but
Yeah, true.
still, like,
Pinky.
yeah, Pinky coming in as well. Yeah, some good Americans. It's been a while.
There's actually a
Kerry,
lot of them. When you look through.
You're a big fan of American racing and Norba series, etc. Do you think if we're seeing maybe a resurgence of American downhill and maybe a bit of growth in the sport at a grassroots level, are you getting back over there for another series? You know, are you getting a van hitting the road?
Oh, imagine, Kerry, I'd love to hit the East Coast.
Yeah, let's go.
Question,
Me and Red
what
Dog
are you
were good
riding?
on the East Coast. I'll tell you that. We were good on the East
Good
Coast.
on the East Coast. I'd go
So,
back.
You don't want to fuck with us over there.
Where
I
was
can see
that
it,
place that you won the provincial title or the state title? Pennsylvania.
Blue Mountain, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, we'll
I
go
won
back
the
there.
I won the Pennsylvania State Downhill champs and Super D champs.
That's
Beat
awesome.
RIP.
Beat Jürgen Beneke.
Oh, what a hero
Jürgen
Jürgen
Beneke.
Beneke is.
Yeah,
That man is a hero.
he was already like
That's
45 years old at that point.
Yeah, just kicking it on the East Coast for some reason. It was
yeah.
weird.
I did
He's
beat
doing
that.
it.
Nico Mullally was at that race, though. I did beat him. He got second.
Yeah,
So,
gave him all he could handle.
Take that, Nico. Hey, speaking of Nico, did you see their Frameworks van got stolen after the
Yes, I-
race?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
And got like all their race bikes stolen? And man, that's a blow for a small team like that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a shocker.
It's not like they can go and grab, like some bikes out of the local distributor and build them up to race them.
So apparently he's flying back to the States to get bikes.
No,
Nico has.
Yeah.
man.
Nico's a hero, eh? What a
Yeah.
fucking legend.
That's such a cool story.
It's pretty sick how from 1 year on of basically just racing by himself, and now got arguably the fastest junior. Angel Suarez is no joke.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a pretty legit team.
He's literally done it out of nothing, eh? Like 100% from the ground up, just his hard graft to get it to where it is.
Who the hell would think you could start a bike brand and build a race team out of it?
Yeah, with steel bikes.
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
pretty
it
legit.
is. Very cool.
Hopefully they find some of those at least. Well, they're going to be so niche. It's like not like they will not be able to be noticeable.
Who steals like a fucking truckload of downhill race bikes? What do you do with those?
Pikeys.
Yeah. Okay.
They were probably after they had some e-bikes in there as well. They're probably after
Yeah.
e-bikes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
They'll be dumped. The downhill bikes will probably be dumped somewhere. Right.
Under a bridge.
We had a fantasy league, boys, for Fort William.
Oh, yeah, we did. Forgot about that.
Boy, I mean, I didn't do well. I think I was 30th.
You're better than me.
I did do better than Red
better than
Dog
me.
at least.
Can you talk us through your picks, Kerry, and like a bit of reasoning?
Through my picks, all right. Who did I have on the team? Emery Perrin. I mean, he was, he's won a lot in Fort William.
I had him.
But he was cheap. He was good buying, right? Like if you weren't sort of like on the money, you wouldn't have noticed it.
Yeah. Lockie Stevens McNabb. He was good value for a potentially strong result. I chose Pinky. I thought Pinky would be a top 30 guy. I put Brooke in my team as well because I figured he had a good chance of being a top 30 finals guy. I picked Jess Blewett again. I figured she was a shoo-in for finals, but unfortunately she didn't make it. And then I picked Valley Hole because I was like, wow, there's a good chance she just wins it all. So that was my team as it stood.
Well done, Kieran.
So were you missing so was Emery your top guy?
Yeah.
So were you sort of missing some sort of like a top end result, or did Emery deliver for you and you were missing somewhere else? What let you down there?
Well, Emery did all right. Valley obviously did great, but then 4 out of them didn't actually make. Man, I can't talk. 4 out of them didn't make finals. I'm just really choked up, guys.
Yeah, you're right, mate. That's rough. You've had a rough day.
Man, fantasy's really got to me.
You kind of questioning your authority as a commentator of sport.
Yeah, man. My voice is just gone. I've lost it.
My team would have been better if Luke Meyer-Smith knew the fucking rules.
Yeah. I watched that and I was like, oh, there's a DSQ.
What did he do?
He crashed and then he just rode out through the side of the track.
Oh, yeah, good.
Straight through the cones.
Yeah. He was looking good too. Like he was going to have a good finish. It's kind of disappointing for him. That giant team is sneaky good.
Yeah. Hundio.
Sneaky good.
Chris Van, we actually ended up on the same amount of points. We both scored 46.
We did.
So we had a set of Smith goggles to give away with the roll-off kit with them, to celebrate what's normally a muddy race and obviously coming into winter here. Now, the winner of the league on the day was a man by the name of David Casey, but it looks like he's from Ireland. So,
send us your address, David. We'll get those out to you, mate.
Yeah, if you're actually in Ireland, then sorry, mate, you don't win the goggles.
DK.
Are we not shipping international?
But then someone else has since joined the league under the name of Scabby, but they fucking dominated.
I'm looking at Scabby. Scabby's in Iceland.
Yeah, Scabby's come in with 84 points compared to 69 in second. So he is, which nice, by the way, has smashed it. But, I mean, David S. Casey, I mean, he could be the same as this guy, Red Dog Racing, who has a Canadian flag next to his name. So
I don't. But that's because I was hawking off used stuff on their buy sell when I was over there.
Good call. So, David, if you're actually in Ireland, we're not doing international shipping, sorry, mate. So, next in line would be a man by the name of Ben Maxwell, which I'm guessing probably would be Maxwell. So, maybe you boys need to slide into my DMs, David Casey and Ben Maxwell, and let me know. Jump onto the OTB podcast Instagram and let us know who's who, and
The
we can
the
work out who
Irish
actually won.
the Irish guy. What if he sends a self-addressed envelope?
A stamped self-addressed envelope.
Yeah.
Then I might send
Yeah.
him some stickers back.
He's going to send
Okay.
a stamped self-addressed box.
Yeah, he has to physically send a box from Ireland.
Yeah, I
and
will
we'll
not
put them
supply
in.
the box.
How about the fact that there's 79 people in the OTB league?
Yeah, it's not
It's a
bad.
good league.
That's
do
like
they let bots
Strong.
in those
Good
leagues or
league.
what?
it
Do
must.
they bots?
I don't know because that's
Yeah,
about
yeah.
3 times the amount of listeners we have. So
Bulk bots. Are you the only Canadian in the league, Red Dog? I think you might be. Yeah, look at that.
He
You're the only
is.
Canadian.
Am I?
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, shout out
We're
to our
the only
Canadian
one.
listeners.
Yeah. Now we've also got a Beaver NZ, and I'm guessing it's not, but I love it if that was Beavers. Is that Shane Beaver?
Yeah,
Do we reckon?
that would be good.
Is Cow in there again?
yeah, he's there.
Yep.
He
Oh,
hasn't
thank
started out
goodness.
as strong as he did last year though with his win. No,
We'll see.
we'll see how this plays out. I don't really like the fact that you have to change your riders change value. Now I have to really go and look at
Yeah.
it all again and change my team.
I think, and they picked someone for me, so I lost Loic, and I got Henry Keeper. I'm like,
They
I don't
they
want
take
Henry Keeper. I'd like
your
Loic, thanks.
they take your highest priced rider out and give you someone that you don't want, basically.
Oh,
Yeah,
is that
he's German too.
when it changes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
those motherfuckers.
And my deadline is 18th. I've got 8 days to do it. That's
I should.
fuck. I don't have time.
Yeah, so we got a whole new
Change my
venue
team.
coming up next week with Poland.
I'm going to sign new contracts and everything.
I watched a video of it wasn't a very good video, but there was a video of the course. There's a lot of wooden ramps, like a lot of wooden takeoffs in there. So we'll see how that goes. But
some stuff like that. Interesting.
it bits of it looked real good though. Like just kind of quite wide, fresh, raw, like untouched sections. So I'll hold back judgment until we see some course markers out and see what it looks like. Could be
Are
good.
there any? Has there been any notable downhill riders from Poland?
Jeez.
Monica Harasnik, isn't she from Poland?
Is she
Oh, yeah.
Polish?
Right.
Oh,
Hey?
she is.
I think she's
Monica.
Polish.
No, she's not. She's
Or she's Czech.
yeah.
Czechoslovakian.
No, I don't know, actually.
Red Dog's just come in with she's from Europe.
Well, I know she's got the flag with the white, blue, and red.
That
France.
was-
Little thing on it, but I
France
don't know
or the
what it is.
Netherlands?
No,
USA.
Nah.
The
Hang on.
White, blue, and red.
blue, and red.
She's a New Zealander.
Don't give me Red Dog.
Australia.
Hang on. Slovenian.
There you go.
Okay,
Slovenia.
yes, very cool. Yeah.
Maribor, what a place. Best track.
What else is happening this weekend? There's EWS.
Does that still exist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's like Drift Nationals on in Tauranga, isn't there?
Sick.
Well, we know where Rowley will be.
Yeah.
My biggest disappointment from the EWS or the EDR is that Richie Road's not racing downhill.
Yeah.
Can I
I was
just
like-
say though that there's 20 something Kiwis at the was it 23 Kiwis racing?
Yeah, I did see that.
Finale?
It's
That's
quite a
pretty
few there.
impressive.
That's
Pretty
heaps.
cool. Yeah.
I think they're just really
Wow.
seeing out the last season of Giro, I guess. Because
Yeah,
supposedly
maybe.
this is it.
Maybe that's it. Everyone wants to take advantage of the last hurrah.
Yeah. Make the most of doing it one last time.
I think with that number of
Before Warner
Kiwis
Brothers
there,
is just like,
we could have some
Sorry.
reasonable finishes if they're lucky. With that many Kiwis there, like there's some good riders.
just on sheer numbers.
Yeah,
Just pure volume.
on a percentage basis.
Just throwing hot bodies at it. Or
Do we know?
bodies at it.
Do we know who the contenders are?
Richie?
Richie?
Yep.
He's the face of the EDR, so presumably Richie.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Like, Chaz Muzz should be strong. He's been getting stronger and stronger every year, so I'll be excited to see how he goes. I'm really interested to see how Matt and Eddie go.
Yeah.
Eddie, I feel like he's been on a bit of a still a bit of a comeback journey, almost.
Yep, I agree.
So,
You'd always count on Eddie to pull one out of the bag, eh?
I hope so. What about Matt Walker as well?
yeah, well, I mean, he won one last year, so he should be strong.
I think one of you guys was saying this might have been a couple of years ago when doing the podcast in the early years, but something about
What,
the
like
glory
last year?
Yeah, 3 or 4 years ago, I think it might have been.
Wasn't that many
when
years?
when we were kind of broadcast like local network television.
Right.
This is our last year.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know.
This
Actually,
could be the last show.
Red Dog, has Kieran told you that Warner Brothers has been in touch?
Well, they
They've,
changed everything.
they've heard what we're doing with Fokker, and they want to replicate it at a World Cup level. But that aside,
Mate, you mean?
yeah, yeah, nominated mate.
Nominated mate.
Yeah.
WWF.
To race a World Cup.
Warner Brothers is going like really engaging the fans and just going like, "Hey, wildcard entry! If you're a fan, you can turn up. You start 80th. Away you go."
Yeah, here's Davo from the Gold Coast.
Imagine the work meter on him, eh? It's just like 180.
His heart rate's at 200.
Oh goodness,
Davo must be
actually,
fit.
speaking-
He's in the technical section. His heart rate's only 135.
Oh, crap. I thought they would have sorted out the work problems. But they
The
haven't.
best bit was Gwyn just taking the piss out of it as well.
yeah.
That was my favourite part.
I love that. Rather than sorting it out, they just doubled down on it. They give title sponsorship.
No, this is correct. Bruni is only doing 140 heart rate down the motorway.
Oh, fuck.
He's a low river.
Crazy.
Just like Rick will
Crazy.
tell you, he's a low river.
Oh dear, we're going so
Right.
far off piece so quickly.
I think we need to go into I don't know if I didn't tell Red Dog this, but I did tell you guys that a section of must or bust. You know, we did it last episode. Give us a must or bust. Right, I'm going to start because I've got one sitting here, hot, ready to go.
Yeah.
The new wave of stylish XC riders. Are you there for it?
Oh, yeah.
Are you putting yourself in that category, Red Dog?
Nah, but I'll put KB in there.
Nominated
I'm all
friends.
for it. It's so cool. The Lancer Manual with the bump jump.
Bjorn Riley and Christopher Blevins are my two favourite riders to watch out of anyone at the moment.
Yeah.
Sick.
They're awesome. And Bjorn sends it too. Like, he was sending some pretty good sized jumps the other day on his
how's
on
that
Instagram.
jump that he did? That was
Yeah.
pretty good. That was pretty
And I'm
sick.
like,
So
this
is
is
that-
like a race bike.
Yeah, pretty impressive.
So that's a must. I think that's an all round must.
Are we
Well,
each
being
coming
styled
up
on
with
XC
a
bike.
bust, or are we just pulling out something?
Oh,
Well-
what's the must for your bust, Kieran?
Well, no, it's either
the
a
must.
good or a bad thing. You know, you bring up a topic. Like, I think you had one, Chris. It's been hanging on the front end of a few bikes recently.
Yeah, no, I do actually have one of those. Just to clarify what you're saying there. Absolutely a must being stylish on the XC bike. As long as your shoes match the kit, match the helmet, match the bike. And I don't want to dig that conversation back up, but I'm pretty firm the shoes and the helmet and the bike can work, but you've got flexibility on the kit, but as long as you're not wearing a peak. So we'll come back to it another day. Anyway, my must or bust today. My must or bust is painting your forks with a rattle can so they look like they're on a stolen bike. Must or bust.
Is this in regards to all those gold Fox forks that have been floating around?
I can't fuck with it, eh? Like, it was almost bad enough when they went full orange last year. Like, that was pretty glaring because on some bikes it was cool. Like, Pivot nailed it because they were like, sweet, let's just paint the bikes the same color and it looks really cool. Some bikes look terrible. But now they've just gone gold and they look so rank.
It's a bust. Bust for me.
It's terrible. Don't do that.
I reckon it's been better than the orange on some bikes.
I don't know.
There's too many of them. There's too many of
shit
them.
on all of
Black or
them.
white. Yeah.
I thought the
I tell
first
you
time
what.
I saw them, I was like, "Oh, that looks pretty good," but then the gold does not quite match, and it just goes with nothing.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, whenever you see teams having to try and match the bikes, like, you know, with decals or whatever else, to the fork, it means the fork is so glaring that it's just a ball ache. And like,
Yeah.
you know, like when you're putting gold fucking logos on the frame because you've got gold forks trying to balance it out, there's a poor designer somewhere at the Yeti head office going, well, what do I do with this shit? They, you know, Yeti, for example, did like a whole series of like frames where they had like orange decals and stuff to match the forks, and now they've got to deal with fucking gold forks. Anyway, poor guys.
Yeah.
That's my rant. That's my must or bust.
Or you
I'm a
could,
bust.
or you could be RockShox and you could make Valley a custom fork that looks like a Fox 40.
Yeah, that was weird.
I'm fine with that.
That was weird.
That was confusing.
Yeah.
What did they do there?
They should have painted them that like cherry red.
Well,
It would have been sweet.
I think the problem is that they looked just like years ago. G and Rachel Atherton ran a white 40 that looked exactly like that with like rainbow stripes and shit on them after they won Worlds. So
It was a weird move.
True that.
Yes,
I mean, nothing.
I've got
Let's be
a
honest.
lot of time for a white fork though. Like,
yeah, white or black.
Yeah,
Give me
it's cool.
a white fork. You can have your forks in white, black, or cherry red with gold nitrite stanchions. Otherwise,
I reckon it would look cooler with the black stanchions. Just a white fork, black stanchions would look cool.
Stank. Get that stanchion on there.
stank dog.
Stanchions?
Stank dog. Give me a white 40.
Nothing will ever
anything,
beat a red
Leicester
boxer,
or
to
Red
be
Dog?
honest.
I've got one, Kerry.
Yep.
You go, red dog.
Must or bust. Stripping the drive unit and battery out of your Orbea e-bike just to race a World Cup.
Oh, can we
Bust.
talk about that, please? What the fuck's going on there?
I read or I saw something where his mechanic was saying how that frame allowed them more room to like mess with the geometry and stuff
Yeah,
on
more
it. And, like,
scope to.
they could put a longer shock in it and make it 200 mil. And I don't know. I'm out. They must have made some sort of custom like cradle to put a bottom bracket into that mounted in where the drive unit should be.
Yeah, which I suspect gave him a lot of ability to like tweak geometry and stuff.
Well, that's the thing. It's like as soon as you're bolting something in, you could totally fine tune your bottom bracket position.
Yeah, independent of other
So
stuff.
is that what's going on? Is that what's going on there? Are they actually using it as a chassis because they can put like they can relocate the bottom bracket? Because presumably, I'm looking at a picture of it. They've got it hidden behind a stock, like Rankin's 2-stage. Presumably, they can hang a different cradle off it and put all sorts of stuff going on down there. Is that what's actually going on?
I guess that's it, right?
Being an e-bike.
Because if you took that frame and you put a longer shock in it, so instantly if you put a longer shock, it's going to lift your bottom bracket height up, and then you put a bigger fork on it to slacken it out and have it down all set up. That's also going to lift everything back up again. But then if you've got this custom cradle, then you put the bottom bracket exactly where you want. So it's actually kind of smart in a way.
Some ways, yeah, like now we all look like fuckwits, but haven't convinced ourselves that we're not.
No. Just look at the down tube. That'll convince you back the other way.
Yeah, that's a big down tube when you've got a 750 watt hour battery that's normally in there.
Hey, just a question, Kieran. I don't want to name names here, but do you think the company that supplies the battery and drive unit and say a kiosk head unit, do you think they would have claimed that in a sort of win ad on the
you
within
would,
the page of the Mountain Bike
you
Action?
definitely would.
Look, I don't know if they would have even known what it was, the race that they were at, so probably not.
I would have loved to see a Martin Mays win ad if he'd won. You know,
you would.
That would be strong.
All the way into it. Martin Mays wins World Cup on e-bike.
Yeah.
But everyone's just sitting there going like, "Hold on a second, you're not e-bikes the World Cup." Well, it wasn't one, but yeah,
they'll just be waiting to dominate the EDR this weekend, I'd say.
Is that still a thing as well?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm actually just looking at the entry list, and there is about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. There's maybe about 30 men and 9 women racing. So it's obviously quite strong still.
Well, there's only so many, 6 plug adapters available in that kind of area. So you've got to limit the numbers.
I'm just wondering with Martin May's deal, actually, like maybe what we're not seeing there is it's a little bit like the bike industry is going through some tough times. Guys are having to work pretty hard to get deals that work for them and everything. And Martin's gone with, he's been offered a deal where he gets one bike, but he's got to ride it at as many events as he possibly can. And so you're going to see him turning up at the EDR. So he obviously has to have an e-bike, but his approach is like, well, so I have to have an e-bike, but then if I take the battery out, it's technically not an e-bike, so I can ride it at the downhill and enduro and whatever else turn up to. Like, maybe it's actually like a multi-discipline deal, a bit like what you've got going on, Kerry. But he actually only has one bike.
But he's only got one bike for it.
Yeah, he'll be turning up at the cross country next, but because he can put his bottom bracket anywhere and fine tune his suspension, it'll be fine.
Yes, all good. Yeah,
we're going to see that. It's going to be awesome. We're going to see that thing with a sit on it. And instead of having like no battery in the down tube, that's just where his bottles and stuff are going.
It's just a slide them straight up the down tube.
He's got a real nice little magnet system going. He's just chucking bottles in the down tube.
Shit.
Going through the feed zone. People are just throwing bottles at him.
Do you guys reckon UCI checked it? Like for
do you reckon they had the scanner out?
They had the scanner.
Yeah. They walked up to the look, we're going to assume you're not being so stupid to actually try and run an e-bike here, but we do need to check. Is there a battery in there?
Maybe that was his whole ploy, was to put that sock thing on there and be like, yeah, I'm not running as an e-bike, but secretly the whole time it was just a drive unit under there, and he was racing an e-bike.
The whole deal is just racing an e-bike in a downhill.
Yeah. Next minute.
Just right in front of everyone's eyes, and no one was the wiser. Put it in turbo. Off he goes.
Chuck it out.
There he goes.
Right, have you got anything for us, Lester?
No, I don't.
No,
but I would just encourage everyone, if they're not already, to go and follow New Zealand Crash's Instagram page.
It's pretty good.
It provides the goods all the time.
It's not ours, by the way. We don't own that account. Do a collab with them if they want to.
Yeah.
Or they can get 25% off Pit Viper. You can post some crashes.
If it's free, it's for me.
They can gift us their account like one other account holder did.
Yeah, we get some free accounts up in here.
Some free accounts. Cool. All right. Well, yeah.
I'm good. I don't think I've got anything else to talk about.
Wrap up. No, week 1.
We'll put that on our other podcast, on our Skinny Tire one.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just gonna quickly throw one thing in there. Red Dog and I did a 100k race a couple of weekends ago. That hasn't gotten much airtime. So
no, how did this go? I heard there was some stairs that had to be walked or something, and
at the end, it was comical sort of at the end. There were so many stairs. Chris almost got hit with a golf ball.
Fuck's sake.
I just about got sconed by a woman teeing off on the fucking par 4 at Island Bay Golf Course.
Did she yell 4 at least?
No, I came up over this rise, just about got taken out, kept moving, and she was like, "Oh, that was me," and I was like, "Yeah, I know."
Were the stairs like an enforced walk section, or were they just unrideable?
No, it had like recommendation, like not to ride it, but you could ride all of them except like one set, and then you had to walk up heaps. Like I yelled, "What the fuck is this?" at one point.
You had to walk up stairs.
Yeah, man, quite a lot.
Could you imagine if I had come to this race?
Oh, bro,
yeah, I know. It would have been. Well, you're coming next year. Yeah, coming next year.
I just want to, before it sounds like we're chewing out the race event organisers. I think it's worth giving a props. Like it was a pretty cool event.
Yeah, it was fun.
Why did they have to start in the dark though?
Because the runners were coming. They started at 10. You had to stay in front of them.
Fuck the runners.
It was cool. I liked it. I thought it was a cool event.
You know what else I appreciated? I was finished by 2 p.m.
Yeah,
that's home. I'm into that.
I was showered. I was dressed. Admittedly, I was asleep, but I was at home by 2 p.m.
Do you guys ever, Kerry? Did you ever have the issue where, like, because I was eating lots of gels, and like I'd put the gels back in the pockets in my bib short,
and then
they'd like
then you've just
ooze
got
out.
crusty gel jizz all
It
over
like
your
sticks
back.
to all your leg hairs and shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's pretty
Bro, that
gross.
shit
so
goes
rank.
so sticky as well. I left my my like hydration vest thing, my titty bottles, in the car for a week afterwards.
Oh,
no.
I was
no.
just so cooked. Went to
Did
get
they-
it out, and I was like, clear everything out, and there's jizz residue. Sorry, that's from the race, not
Not just Friday night.
just fuck, mate. And it was like concrete. That shit was hard to
Yeah.
unpick.
Yeah.
Oh, nasty.
This is why it ruins your gut for a week after you have 17 gels at the Walker.
Yeah, it was. You guys, I got to admit, probably missed out. It was probably the most in pain I've ever been on a bike. I've never been so cooked at the end of it.
It was hard, eh?
Whoa.
Yeah, it was
It
hard
was-
on the
it was
Fokker.
like-
Well,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, it was.
How many
And I was
meters
just-
climbing was it?
A few more than the Walker was.
What was the how
20,
like how
28?
long? How many hours? Kind of.
No, it was,
No.
it took me 7:10 or 7:15 or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
7:05, can't remember.
I was 7:45. So Red Dog I saw Red Dog at 6 a.m. and then I saw him again a week and a half later.
That's good.
When we went to the pub.
That is
Yeah,
good stuff.
we went for a run.
Yeah, we did.
You saw a
Oh,
week and a
right.
half later, you were still out finishing the race.
Yeah. I was like, Red Dog was going for a quick run at Pole Hill. I was just coming in, finishing up the course.
Yeah. I egged him on. He was all right.
Yeah, good. Just covered in fucking
He didn't cram,
sugary
though. Did he
jizz.
cram?
No, I didn't. I went to the chemist the night before and got myself a packet of, what did I have, Red Dog? Not Max.
Like
and G, but
Gaviscons or something.
Gaviscon. I'd read that Tums is the answer, and there'll be people sitting on the call right now going, "What the fuck are you talking about?" But I've read that Tums are like the go-to like emergency cramp solution.
Really?
And so I was at Chemist Warehouse. Yeah, because they're for heartburn and they're packed full of like.
Tums just makes me think of Purple Pills, the song.
Well, possibly,
The track.
right? But like,
Role Pectos and Tums. Watch out,
yeah,
here it comes.
that's it. Apparently, they're packed full of, I don't know, the right minerals. But I was at Chemist Warehouse about 9 p.m. on a Friday night, going like, "Do you guys have Tums?" Like, no. I was like, okay, I think they're for indigestion or something. And the guy's like, "Oh, we got this." I was like, "Okay, Gaviscon will do." And that was at 9 p.m. And then I got up at 4 a.m. the next morning to ride to the bus, to get on the bus, to go to the start line to see Red Dog. It was priceless. Yeah, it was an adventure. That much is for sure.
I just
Helps,
love
though.
that you were like you heard Tums, and then you just assumed that it was the antacid or whatever portion of the Tums that were helping. So you're like, I'll just go with a Gaviscon, and then you just straight into a race. This could have had horrific consequences.
This could
Yeah,
have gone so bad.
I was going on the basis of like, what better way to find out than in the context of a race. It was sort of like a rolling scientific experiment, and part of the problem with that is I probably didn't have a very clear hypothesis, and then I also didn't have any clear like measures of success, other than not dying and finishing the race.
What did
And
you
I
cramp?
did die.
Sounds
and
like
I
a
finished the
miracle
race.
cure to me.
Yeah, so
You didn't die.
I'm going to call it a win all round.
Yo,
This
I
is
can firmly
champagne
say I
Chris
won't be
right here.
using Gaviscon while I'm riding ever.
No.
So bicycling.com, which seems like a reputable website.
Well,
under
they've
the
got
heading of-
bicycling.com domain name. They must be pretty
Absolutely,
reputable.
they've been in the game for a while.
We've got a
under the
podcast,
headline
but we're
of-
not reputable.
How to get rid of cramp fast. There's all the normal things like train, but then there's also pop a Tums. So
Papa Tums
You know,
sounds like maybe it's some dude that gives you a massage on the side of the course.
Papa Tums. Go and see Papa Tums.
Go and see Papa Tums.
Papa Tums is just a real fat, greasy dude that'll give you a rub down.
It's
Hey, Papa Tums.
Oh,
So if we've got any performance coaches out there, Kevin, talking to you here, that would like to weigh into that conversation, by all means.
As someone who sells Gaviscon, well, no, I don't actually sell it myself, but I buy it.
You
I'm
pitching this to the users, the listeners right now?
I can tell you that the main ingredient in Tums is calcium carbonate.
Yeah.
And apparently Gaviscon has a higher concentration of calcium carbonate.
Oh,
there we go.
Maybe Chris is onto something.
I do not see how on earth that has anything to do with cramping, but
to be fair, though, I'm impressed that Chris got through without cramp, so I feel like maybe he is onto something.
It had to have worked, yeah. Had to.
I mean, no, it legit did work. My quads were pinging at about, and also this was at about the 60 or 70k mark maybe. So I was like, we've got a long way to go, yeah. And it was like, ding, ding, ding. You know the warning signs.
Yeah.
And these actually weren't the warning signs. These were like the post-warning signs. And I was like, all right, let's get one of these on us now and just see what happens. And I ate one of them, and then I was like, fuck it, I've got two. I'll have two of them. And I wouldn't say I felt great, but I didn't cramp. So, like I say,
okay,
who knows about this stuff? Lester, can we just get your wife on to talk about this? She's a chemist.
I'm actually Googling while we're on about this. And yeah, it would seem that there is actual some fact behind this.
So, according to bicycling.com, and we've gone so far off piste here, your body uses calcium to maintain healthy muscle contraction. Tums, which contains a healthy dose of the mineral, has been a favourite product of long-distance cyclists for years. We are, by the way, long-distance cyclists.
We are.
Some people also swear by crampies, which is a combination of minerals, magnesium, potassium, calcium, and sodium that help with muscle contraction, says Stacey Sims, PhD, an exercise physiologist and nutritionist at
I don't trust anyone with Sims as a surname.
yeah. Anyone with Sims as a surname is telling you just to eat fruit and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
There's I do think that the actual science behind a lot of the stuff is still pretty blurry.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of pseudoscience that says that this works, but
that can't be correct.
So
anyway,
this article on bicycling.com, which is, this ranks at the top of the page for how to reduce cramp for cycling, gives you three bits of advice. Here's 3 steps to help soothe cramp. 1, pop a Tums. 2, reduce the workload.
You should do a shorter race.
Just fucking give up. And 3, take a deep breath and stretch.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
All right. Deep breath and stretch.
Go to Chemist Warehouse, give up, or train better.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
Don't go to Chemist Warehouse, though, because you'll put me out of business.
No, go to your local...
local independent pharmacy.
Support your local independent chemist.
Sanders.
And if you're anywhere near Waikato, it's Sanders we want to go to, isn't it?
Yeah, Sanders Pharmacy.
Yeah, that's the one.
Or if you're not anywhere near the Waikato.
Yep, spend lots of money driving
just
to
call
us.
Lester. Yep. Just don't ask Lester about his marketing automation engine because that's going to give him grief.
Jesus, I don't want to get started down this track. We'll be here forever.
Can I just add a small something at the end if we're going to sign off?
Is it about
one more small something at the end?
Do we
This is a happy ending.
Do we know about the zoo in China that used dyed dogs as standard for pandas?
We've gone well. The plane is at the
Chinese zoo has defended their decision to dye dogs for a fake panda exhibition because people also dye their hair.
Wow, strong
The
argument.
dog's the same colour as the panda.
Wow.
Wouldn't even need to dye it.
You asked for one more thing to talk about.
This is
what you went with. Like you didn't want to talk about the fact that the specialized team was running rotor guards on their.
Oh,
like,
actually,
on
I
the,
did
on
have
the
a
Jeez, I
break.
theory.
forgot
I
about
had a
that.
theory about that.
Oh, can you share it?
THG's coming back.
What do you guys think the theory is there? I do have a theory.
They reckon
I've
his mum.
got a theory. I've got a theory. It's actually to not for aerodynamics. My theory is it's for making sure the brakes get up to temperature faster early.
Yes.
So actually reducing the effects of cooling early on a race, but then once the bike's up to speed, that's not an issue.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I think it is too.
My theory is actually not about aerodynamics because they're not.
No,
They're
No,
not
it's not
aerodynamic.
aerodynamic. No way.
Nah,
it's not-
Otherwise,
they
all the
would've
road
built it
cyclists would
differently.
have them on.
yeah.
But I'm with you. I think it's to get them hot early.
Optimal temperature.
Optimal temperature, and so braking consistency.
Mm.
Because overheating brakes is seemingly something more in the past than it.
I don't.
less of an
Overheating
issue these days,
brakes
isn't it?
isn't a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now like cold brakes are a problem. And at a place called Fort Billion.
$4 billion.
What billion?
Fort Billion. I need to go to bed. That would be a problem, wouldn't
It would be.
it? Cold.
I just think they look. It
Islands.
looks kind of cool, and they're messing with everyone.
Yeah, that too.
Also that.
They love messing with people.
Yeah, that's believable. You know who's messing with everyone? Is Saracen. That bike is fucking dog shit ugly. Sorry.
To go with their dog shit ugly kit.
Yeah. Yeah. Just go fuck yourself.
It's a good thing no one will be this far still listening to the podcast.
I tell you what looks fucking awesome though. Those zeros look amazing. They're so sick. Coolest bike in the pits.
Quite, aren't they?
That's a race chassis, eh? Give me a race chassis with a gearbox.
Well, apparently the Mondrake is a race chassis too, but I really don't rate that thing. Sounds like a bucket of bolts going
Oh,
down.
it looks
the
a
hill.
lot better.
Look, I'll
Looks a
tell you
lot-
what,
It does, I
Dakota's
agree.
result is better than any Mondraker result for the last 3 years, so they're doing something.
It's got to be
And,
the right
and
doesn't it?
Ronan wasn't too bad. I don't think he's been fantastic at the build, has he?
No. Yeah. Right. I think now's the time to sign off.
Yeah, I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, don't we all? Right. If you've made it this far, Jesus, you need to get a life. But thanks. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Maybe.